What's up, everybody? Tech Chucker here, and I just kind of wanted to have a little discussion. It's not a discussion, it's me talking and hopefully somebody listening, but you get the idea. So, Deadpool 2, the sequel. If you haven't already heard about all the drama that's going on with they haven't even started filming that movie. But if you haven't heard, go take a look at comicbook.com. They've actually got quite a few good articles. They've been following the drama involved with that movie quite a bit. But if you're not aware, so Tim Miller was the director of that film, the first film, and he was set to be the director for the sequel. Well, I believe it was about a week ago, maybe more. He's out. He is not going to be the director of the sequel. And there's been a lot of speculation about why he's not going to be the director anymore, and what the issues were, and yada yada yada. And we're starting to find out a lot more. So definitely go check out comicbook.com. But here's the deal: they still haven't filled the director spot. There's a couple of people that are in the running to be the new director, and it looks like the favorite, or the person who's most likely to get that, is a guy by the name of David Lech. I don't know how that's pronounced. He is the guy who directed. Oh, geez, what is that? I'm gonna look this up real quick. I know I shouldn't be, but David Lech, and John Wick, the movie John Wick. I haven't seen it. Apparently it was a hit. A lot of people liked it. They're going to do a sequel. So I'm not familiar with his work. Here's the cool part. From what it sounds like, there were not only creative differences between Tim Miller and Ryan Reynolds for the sequel, but also budgetary and business differences. Tim Miller wanted to increase the budget for the film by like 3 times, if not more. And Ryan Reynolds did not. He wanted to retain the small budget like they had with the original. Ryan Reynolds, the other writers on the team also wanted to keep the budget small, and Tim Miller wanted to increase it. So that's number one. That's hit number one. And then Tim Miller wanted a little bit more of a stylized look and feel to the next version. So I assume more special effects, hence the bigger budget. And then the third issue was apparently a difference on who they wanted to cast for Cable. And if you go check out, I couldn't find the article again because there's a bunch of them on that website. They name a particular guy that Tim Miller wanted, and I've never really heard of him. I haven't seen his work. But here's the thing. Throughout all of the promotion of the first Deadpool movie, Tim Miller, Ryan Reynolds, everybody on the cast all touted how awesome it was going to be that they got to have creative control, and that the studio, Fox, stayed out of it. Let them do what they wanted to do. Ryan, in the sequel, seems to want to have the same basic style that they had in the first one. Raunchy, kind of violent, vulgar, just keep that style. Probably keep a rated R rating, I would assume. And so my assumption is that Tim did not want to do that. But they touted that this whole time. The panels that you'd see on YouTube of them at different cons, just, playing up how much that they wanted to stay true to the comics and be raunchy and nasty and blah blah blah. Now I don't want to claim that Tim Miller is selling out. I gotta say, Tim Miller, for his career, probably has more at stake than Ryan Reynolds. I mean, the sequel could tank and Ryan Reynolds will be fine. Tim Miller, on the other hand, I mean, I'm not saying he's, a chump or a noob when it comes to Hollywood, but I think he's got a little more to lose. So going with a bigger production might help his career advance further. And I honestly believe that Ryan Reynolds has a much better love, much more sincere love for the actual source material. I never got that feeling from Tim during, watching those different panels, that he was truly 100% devoted to the story. Now, a lot of people, and will say that Tim Miller is, a dedicated comic book reader. I'm not questioning that, but I am questioning a little bit the integrity towards retaining what they had in the original and not changing it too much. I think he wanted to broaden the audience, which I get, but the issue is it's Deadpool. His audience isn't necessarily that broad in terms of a mainstream piece of art or content. I mean, it's vulgar, it's violent, and to change that, especially after seeing what worked in the first version or the first movie, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So I gotta give props to Ryan Reynolds. I've always liked Ryan Reynolds. He's probably one of my favorite male actors in Hollywood, or at least top billed actors, next to maybe Brad Pitt. But that's just because I love Fight Club. Fight Club is my absolute favorite movie of all time. So what are your thoughts on the whole Deadpool controversy? What's going on with that? Who do you want to see as the new director? Are you cool with this David Leitch guy? Do you want somebody else? Me personally, now I know that Ryan Reynolds has retained through his contract a fair amount of control, which was actually why Tim Miller wound up having to leave, because they couldn't just override what Ryan Reynolds had in his contract. Apparently he's got some creative control, and he's got some control over casting as well. And so he was disagreeing with who was being cast for cable, etc., etc. Me personally, I would like to see Ryan Reynolds direct it. Why not? I'm tons of other actors direct the movies that they're in. Tons of other actors direct the movies that they star in. I don't see any reason why you couldn't do that and bring someone on as sort of an assistant director. They do that quite a bit as well. Who I'd love to see is the guy who actually directed Fight Club, David Fincher, something like that. But I really doubt that they'd be able to get him, just for cost, if they're going to keep the cost of the production low, and he's probably not available. But I liked that this guy, if we were going to get somebody other than Ryan Reynolds, which I would go with Ryan. Why not? He knows the content, he knows what he wants, and whatnot. But I think with Fight Club, Fincher really kept the integrity of the source content, the book, and he gave the movie a little bit of something different to keep it fresh and unique. So that would be my vote. Number 1, Ryan Reynolds. Number 2, David Finch, or a partnership or a joint effort between Ryan Reynolds and someone else. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think about my idea of who should direct this next Deadpool movie. Make sure you hit subscribe, like this video, and until later, I will see you. Okay. Until then, I will see you later.
Tetris Brain Blast.